Yeah, she needs a redesign, doesn't she? Hi, welcome to Asev Draws. It's me, Michelle. I go by Asev in my artwork. That is my art persona. And today, actually, I'm introducing you to one of my oldest original characters, Ace. So real quick, if you're wondering about the similarity between Ace, ACE, and Asev, my channel name, Asev is more of like a brand that I created when I was a teenager, kind of like my art handle. I would sign it all the time. And Ace is a byproduct of that. She is an original character or an art persona that younger me made so I can have a cooler self-insert. So back then, when I was around 14 till 19, I would say, she was a character that grew up with me. I would draw her all the time, and that's who you saw at the beginning of the video with the shaved side head and inconsistent design. She was mostly just what I wanted to be, but in drawing form. And as I've grown as an artist though, I've wanted to turn her into a proper character with her own personality and story. And that kind of began in 2022, but I never really wanted to post about that. So today, this is the start, and I thought it would be the perfect place to start my channel because I do love character design, and you'll be seeing more of that as we go on. So this is where we're starting designing her face. Whenever I design a character, I always start with the face and hair because I feel like that's where personality actually shows. Oh, I didn't like the flipped image of this, so I was shocked that's what it looked like reversed. Anyway, so here I was just drawing a base neutral expression with her makeup and hair the way you're gonna see it most of the time. So brief introduction, her name is Ace, as we established. She was 22 when I started her design and her background and her lore, so now she'd be 26. She ran away from home at 17 to become a clown in the circus. Yep. So that's what you're gonna see in this design, her story and her in different formats as well as different poses. Once I was happy with the sketch of her design, I moved on to line art, and my drawing process is pretty much, it's very simple. I sketch out and to make sure the proportions are right, then I move on to line art, and then I move on to color. Sometimes I skip the line art completely and I just color over the sketch. It just depends on the situation, because sometimes I like the flat vector-like almost style of line art, and other times I like the messy raw feeling of a sketch, so I leave it underneath the color layer. I feel like I'm rambling too much so I'll just let the line art go and then I'll catch you when I'm done with that. Now that the line art is done, I'm just going to use the fill tool to fill the outline, and I'm just going to walk you through a bit of her aesthetic. Her hair is red so that it blends in with her clown wig. She shaves off her eyebrows and draws them on so that she's more expressive, and the iconic like clown makeup of a bright red lip and triangles above and under the eyes are just part of who she is. She feels more comfortable that way. So with it, she feels brave enough to perform, and without it, she feels more vulnerable. And with her circus mates or her workmates, you'll see that as time goes on, she will get more confident to show up without it, but not yet. There are other few elements such as her bold eyeliner. She loves wearing a thick cat eye, and that's just because I like drawing eyeliner. I can't even excuse it. And also the 3 piercings are kind of like an homage to the original Ace that I drew when I was younger. I'm just keeping that as part of the original design. I felt the background was a bit too plain, so I made it this darker pink color, and then drew a border around her. So yeah, this will be kind of one of my references, or like a marking point, so that when I'm like, oh, where did she start, I'll see this picture and remember. Alright, so now that I'm happy with the design, I'm just going to save it, export it out of Procreate rather, and yeah, get started onto the next section. So I personally feel like when a character comes to life is when you draw them in multiple different situations. On the right here, I've got my reference, which is a drawing that I drew on my old Instagram account on my birthday. I'll insert a picture here. So this was on my 25th birthday. I still have the account, by the way. I just don't post there anymore. It's a dead account. I last posted there over a year ago, so I don't know. I think I should rebrand it, because now that I feel the motivation to start my art again and posting and starting YouTube, I could just use that account and start on a fresh slate. But for now, I'm just gonna focus on YouTube. So in this first pose, this is the version of Ace that you'll probably see the most. I'll call it her default look. I imagine her going grocery shopping or hanging out with her friends, or on a regular day, this is what she will look like. It's her everyday look, the version of herself that she chooses to present herself as. So her bright red curls, her bold eyeliner, and those little hints of her clown makeup, because like even when she's not performing, when she's off stage, her clown makeup has become a part of her. If you're wondering about the actual process, I am just sketching out a pose. This time I didn't use a reference. I just wanted to see how far my head could go. I mean, in art, you should use a reference. It's how you get good proportions and accurate angles and stuff. But I've been drawing the same poses and whatnot for so long that I feel like sometimes I can weasel out of it. In this particular pose or version, she's looking sad because this is the version of her from before she leaves home. She's trapped in this small town with controlling parents where she never feels like she fits in. And she's naturally creative and expressive, so these qualities weren't there yet. And she's always felt like there's a bigger world waiting for her somewhere else. And then I couldn't resist drawing a little chibi version, because look at her, she's so excited. This is basically Ace with her energy turned up to like 110%, like nervous excitement. Also, sorry that the camera was like drifting downwards slowly. I didn't even notice it up until watching this footage, so yeah, but this is the final destination of it. Anyway, so this version of her is when she's a circus performer. Eventually, after she leaves home, she uses the excuse of going to college, but along the way, she discovers a wandering circus, which is something that happened to me, by the way. But anyway, she completely falls in love with this traveling circus and convinces them to take her on as a clown apprentice. She saw how like loud, colorful, and dramatic the place is, and she was like, that is where that's where I fit in. Those are the versions of Ace that I'm just sketching out here. I duplicated the sketch layer and then I cleaned it up a bit. Okay, now that the sketching layer is done and we are all cleaned up, I'm going to go in with color. Here's a fun little fact about me. I don't like coloring. I don't like it. It's one of the reasons why I can't bring myself to buy coloring books. I don't exactly know why. I think it's just because it doesn't come out looking the way I see it in my head, you know, and when you see other artists' renderings, they're so perfect. They've got tones and underpaintings and whatnot, and I just do flat color. And then it's also the placements and everything. Oh, what should her top be? Oh, what should her bottom be? Oh, it's clashing with this and that. But I just want to draw, damn it. I don't want to like think about color theory. If I see that color wheel one more time, because I did art in primary school, I took art as an elective in high school, I took art as a club in high school as well, I did art as my college major, kind of. So yeah, it's not that I don't understand the color wheel because it's burned into my brain, but I don't know. I'll just leave it. I'm getting stressed just thinking about it. Once I finished with my little designs, I just drew a few captions, I guess, describing what we're looking at here. And yeah, so that's Ace. That's all of her different sides. She wore black and grey before she left home. She's loud and colorful and bright in her circus wear, and she likes to dress confidently when she's on her day off. And I might try do more chibi forms. Oh, and then I lost this footage on my phone, so I'm showing you a time lapse of me doing the shadows and highlights. For shadows, I just put another layer, put it on multiply, and use a light purple color. And that's her redesign, but we're not done yet. There is something else that I wanted to show, and that is her different expressions. Ooh, I made this cool little watermark, by the way. I'm not sure if you can see it, but hopefully that will keep me from the AI bots stealing my work. So that's the final. So I wanted to make Ace my channel mascot, and I did these few quick thumbnails on Procreate, and thumbnails are supposed to be only 30 seconds to a minute, so I did that. Then I duplicated it and did more emotions or expressions. So from now on, you'll see Ace in the corner of the videos, and she's kind of going to be like my face without me showing my face, because I don't know about face reveals and stuff like that. Should I say one of those YouTuber things like face reveal at 1,000 subscribers? I don't know. So that's Ace. That's my original character. This redesign honestly felt like coming to an old friend, because like we've changed a lot over the years. I'd love to keep sharing more of my original characters, sketchbook pages, or creative project on the channel. If that sounds like your kind of thing, please feel free to stick around, subscribe. Thanks so much for watching this far on my first video. I hope you have a good day. Bye guys!